Hello.
Would you like to go to dinner and a movie?
Maybe. You appear literate and have good hygiene. Although, have you signed Grover Norquest Taxpayer Protection Plan?
Yes, but I did so because I work for Senate candidate Josh Mandel. We stopped at Grover's house on the way to party in the Bahamas with some of those payday lender guys. We were pretty hyped up on P90X and power bars with Paul Ryan, so I don't remember the details.
That pledge that you, Josh Mandel, and many others have signed makes it impossible to negotiate a common ground and draft bipartisan legislation that will bring our budget back to creating surpluses like we did under Clinton's 1993 Budget Reconciliation Act. He repaired the damage of 12 years of supply-side, or voodoo economics. Why would you sign a pledge that reduces your ability to negotiate? And as Republican Senator Alan Simpson said, they support no new taxes, under any circumstances, even if the country goes to hell.
I don't like taxes, they slow economic growth, and I don't like big government. Besides, I don't know a lot about budgets or government. I got this job by winning a bet with my friend Josh Mandel. He bet me I would not do a Grover Norquest bomb.
What is a Grover Norquest bomb?
It's where you bite a lime, take a shot of Crown, punch a homeless man in the face, while reading him a chapter from your favorite Ayn Rand novel, then wash it down with an appletini.
That seems excessive, and I am now only talking to you because you seem to have good hygiene. I do not like taxes either, nor big government. But the supply-side tax policy developed in the 70s and first used by Reagan has never done what the small group of neoclassical economists, such as Milton Friedman, said it would do. The W. Bush and Cheney said the tax cuts that were set to expire in June 2010 would pay for themselves, which was just not true.
Private business is more efficient than government and can provide better services. And why would you want to take money away from job creators? If job creators have more money to invest, our economy does better. We need to remember our United States was founded on Christian values. We need to stop borrowing money from China to give to college girls so they can have tons of protected sex.
First, we are not taking money from job creators, we are attempting to go back to the economic model that worked under Clinton, and to do that, at least parts of the Bush tax cuts need to expire. Second, efficiency is good, but it is not a value unto itself. There are more important values than efficiency, like justice and equality. These values are essential to institutions like education, healthcare, research, technology development, infrastructure, and social safety nets. A democratic government guided by an educated population can manage these institutions. When profitability and shareholder return determine the way these services are delivered, we have poorer service. Just look at for-profit higher education. When higher education is run for profit, you end up with poor education. Without redistribution, history shows us that concentrated wealth is damaging to society. This is why we need regulation and a tax policy that redistributes wealth.
But we are not in the dark ages anymore, and regulation stops growth. By pledging the new taxes, we are forcing programs to get cut, which will then be picked up by private businesses or states. The federal government needs to give the power back to the states so Texas can keep the Mexicans from enticing our teenagers with hip-shaking hot rhythms that leads our youth down the road of the gay. Those Mexicans should be no longer allowed to take advantage of low-wage labor jobs like my grandfather did when he came here from Ireland. And about regulation, service will not suffer. Markets will decide the best service provider, and we will be able to choose. It is like jeans. The market has shown that jeans with holes in them and that look worn out are more valuable than jeans that look new, and even more valuable if they say Abercrombie. And I increase my freedom when I increase the number of choices of ripped jeans I have. Is the government going to regulate my ripped Abercrombie jeans?
Corporations, if left to their own devices, will take advantage of others for their own gain. They will pollute and deceive consumers. This is our history, and these are the effects of profit at any cost, for continued growth and self-preservation. Also, remember there's the point when supply side creates an increase in asset prices and no new increase in supply. When investment demand exceeds future investment supply and produces asset inflation. Or a bubble. And then the private sector pushes the losses onto the public sector. Listen. The economy is like a garden. It will grow if you give it the right balance of regulation and tax policy. By signing the Norquist Pledge, you eliminate the opportunity to discover that balance and are refusing to reach a middle ground.
But we have created a nation of dependents. It is not the job of the government to take care of the poor, remember. This country was founded on Christian values.
You keep saying that we were founded on Christian values, which is just untrue. If our country formed on Christian values, the founding fathers would not exalt the ideas of the Enlightenment and base our government on them. They were progressive thinkers that agreed it was best to be rid of ancient religious dogma and replace it with reason and liberty. This is well documented.
As a Christian, I have the right to judge and condemn others, just like Jesus did.
I don't think that Jesus. Anyways. Just pragmatically, we are all better off when everyone has the basic necessities like food, housing, education. We get a stronger, smarter, and a healthier population. And by you signing that pledge, you are pledging to cut those services. We need responsible reform.
Those services will be given over to the private sector and states. That way we will balance the budget and cut taxes at the same time.
The budget cannot be balanced without a balanced approach of increasing revenue and cutting spending. And why should I think that your party wants to balance the budget? It is more plausible to me that supply-side economics was devised by a small set of people who wanted to find a way to show that tax rates and revenue are independent and can therefore justify exceedingly low tax rates for the people that fund your elections. But it did not work in the 80s, and Reagan had to respond with the largest tax increase in history at the time to counter the extreme loss in revenue.
We are going to cut loopholes.
You must not have read the Norquist Pledge. The pledge you and Josh Mandel signed also refuses to close loopholes. This leads me to believe that your cognition skills are low and you are possibly harboring hostility and bigotry due to lack of education or improper parenting. This is most likely not your fault and either due to demographics or well-crafted rhetoric and propaganda warping your already cognitively dissident persona. I am denying your request to dinner and a movie as I do not see us breeding in the future. I do not want to raise a child around close-minded principles. Ones that sign pledges with absolute conditions, promote inequality, and lead to religious extremism.
Are you sure you do not want to go to dinner and a movie? The P90X and power bars have given me quite a sculpted body and excellent thrust stamina for lovemaking to your magic vagina that is able to distinguish between pretend and legitimate rape.
I am at a loss for words. The next thing you're going to tell me is there are actually people that believe in magic vaginas. And the earth is 9,000 years old. And these people actually get elected to public service. And these same people serve on important boards concerning science and technology.